Right, everyone?
It was good. Best Melbourne trip ever.
Yeah, like come back. Come for my birthday. Hello.
Best birthday gift ever. Thanks, Mum. Wow.
I seriously come back because I'm coming back for my birthday. Like,
If I have the money,
Want to get back?
What do you think of it, Adrian? AWF, eat your heart out. Pretty good.
I would make the trip here.
Again and again and again. Where's Tracy somewhere? Really good. Alright, so it took me a while to actually sit down and talk about Melbourne or MCW in a matter of fact, but I do want to say first off, sorry for taking so long. I've had so many issues within that week. I was sick. My computer had fucked up. Sorry for the language. Something wrong with the hard drive. And just a lot happening this week. So I'm just using this opportunity now to record the video. And that way I can tell you guys my experience about Melbourne, MCW. First off, I do want to say that we had to catch a taxi. We didn't know where the place was, and it cost us around about $75 there and back. And what even made it worse was there was a station literally across the road, and obviously we didn't know. Melbourne had a different system in terms of public transportation compared to Sydney. It's kind of the same thing, but they don't have that one only ticket. Like you pay, for a paper ticket to use for only that time. They had their version of an Opal card, and that was the only way that you can travel on public transport. We ended up getting one the next day for other reasons. We had to go to comic book places and all that, and they were further out into the suburbs. But we have the card to this day, so next time if we ever go back to Melbourne, we've got it and we know where it is, apart from like other venues at MCW. So the travelling was costly, cost a fair bit, but again, it was my first time. It was my brother's first time to Melbourne, so what can you do? I do want to say as well, I only did highlight videos mainly for a few reasons. One was that during the day was it was just mostly shopping, and I didn't think that you guys would want to actually see how we shop or anything like that, so I kind of thought I wouldn't bother. Second thing was, when we got to the venue, it was, in my opinion, the bad part of town. In every city you are in, whether it's Sydney or Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, you always have that town that is the kind of town that you want to hold onto your phone, hold onto your wallet, keep your bag close with you. And yeah, the last thing I wanted to do was just pick up my phone and go, hey, look where we're at. It was just the bad part of town, and to me personally, safety was kind of first, because obviously I didn't know these people, I've never seen them before. They're it's just a bad reaction when you see them. You just don't want to mess with them. So I'm not saying that everyone's like that, I'm not, but at the time, safety first. So anyway, overall the event was great. Melbourne, I always keep saying this, but this is literally the best Australian company out there. I've said that with AWF, and it turned out as years later, it became the same old thing. AWF was, I still attend, mainly because it may be like, wrestlers may show up, like with Tommy Dreamer, and I do hope they do more. But if I've got nothing on the weekend, like this Saturday I've got nothing on, I might attend a show. But if it's but for the most part it's the same old show. PWA, I haven't been there since, I think it was like last year. And it's all the way in Casula, and I'm not going to go all the way to Casula, which is Liverpool, like freaking forever. So I didn't want to spend so much time all the way there. I'd probably spend more time traveling to the venue than I actually spend watching the show. That's just my opinion. And yeah, I definitely really think MCW is the best company, because it's kind of like what PWA and AWF isn't. It's got elements of the show that isn't. AWF is very PG. It's WWE's version, or the indie version of WWE. Very, very PG. And it only has select, like, just the ring and music and the stage, that's it. PWA is a bit more grown up, kind of, from memory. I haven't been there in a year, so I couldn't remember. But MCW is, I wouldn't say the Attitude Era, but is definitely felt like that. And the crowd, oh God, the crowd was completely hungry. Like, just for the show. They were, I wouldn't say rabid, but they sounded rabid. Like, just hearing the crowd was fantastic. And that's one of the things that wrestling's awesome, is that having that crowd interaction. If you have a cheering crowd, then that match can be awesome. But if you just have a silent crowd, then guess what? That match is crap. But yeah, I can't get over how big the crowd was. Main event was great as well. Loved it. And what I mean about MCW, about PWA and AWF having elements of what MCW has, and when I mean top notch, I mean top notch. These guys are like having pyro at some of their events, at some of the venues, or one of them at least. They have video packages which you don't see in AWF or in PWA. With them, it's kind of like you go onto their YouTube show, into their channel, see their recently uploaded video that will have a little promo or something. And I think WWE and PWA kind of assumes that everyone's going to see that video when they're not. But PWA, they had a main event and they showed up the same video that was on YouTube, their little promo package for the pay-per-view, or not for the pay-per-view, for the main event. And it was just awesome. It felt like a miniature a miniature WWE, just indie Australian-wise style. And it was great. The matches itself was fantastic. I do have to say this though, there was, during the main event, there was this blind girl who was right behind me. And what was the saddest part was, apart from the main event, was, I wouldn't say the saddest, but there was a brawl out in the ring. Nothing happened to her. God, no. If you're thinking that something happened to her, no. What happened was, there was a brawl out in the ring, outside in the crowd, and there was everyone just getting around her. And the poor girl didn't know what was happening, obviously, because she's blind. All she can hear is people going, MCW, and like literally yelling and screaming. And I felt sorry for her, mainly because that poor thing was scared. Thankfully, she had people with her, her mother and all that. But I kind of felt sorry. And I think wrestling people really need to be mindful of others. Yes, it is great to have wrestling out in the crowd and to have that fan interaction, or that experience that someone's getting beaten up right in front of you from like a mere 2 meters away. But if there are people with wheelchair, if there are people who is blind and who have got no idea what's happening, or they can't move out of the way because A, they're literally near the action, and B, there's people ganging around them, you know, and to the point where they're, you know, touching shoulders and literally can't move, then that's the point where we have to go, right, we need to try to move this out of the way. Obviously, they didn't stay there for long, but for that couple of minutes, for at least that full minute or two, you know, I did feel sorry for her, and she kept saying that she was scared. And if MCW is watching this, and I highly doubt they are, make sure you really talk to your wrestlers. Keep a mindful for your fans, and that's for any wrestling company out there. You know, a lot of people might argue, or why is there a blind person there? Why is a crippled person? Anyone can enjoy wrestling. Doesn't matter which disability they have. It's a really matter of, okay, this is the safe zone where if you have a disability, whether it's physical or whether it's a physical disability, or if it's you're hearing impaired or you're blind or whatever the case may be, here's a safe area where we're not going to go near you, because, you know, last thing we want to do is put harm. So if I think that, you know, obviously WWE, you rarely get that because it's a big arena, and arenas do have sections for the wheelchairs and for that. But in terms of independent companies who they know that for a fact that they go out and brawl out in the crowd often, then they really need to at least put the guys in the back. At least we know they're safe. Yes, wrestlers may go around in the back, but into the point where they're not going to full on second row brawl. That's my opinion. So anyway, move on. Matches were great. I've got photos with them, which I'll just show at the end of this video. With some wrestlers that I'm not aware of who their names are, because like I said, I've only been to this is my very first event. But the one thing that really, I wouldn't say ruined my day, because I really did enjoy it, but I had a big little, I wouldn't say issue, but it kind of was. And that was the ring announcer. I honestly don't know what the ring announcer was doing. And if you guys have been to an MCW event, then you'll know what I mean. If not, let me explain it to you. The way he talks on the mic, in that small amount of time where he's introducing the wrestlers, or if he's in the ring, I honestly don't know if he's a ring announcer, a commentator, or if he's cutting a promo. And I literally mean it. The way he yells was like he was cutting a promo. As a ring announcer, you don't cut a fucking promo. Like, for me, all I want to hear from a ring announcer is, when's the next match? Is there a stipulation? Is there a title on the line? And who's the participants? That's it. This guy went full on, and he would literally, like, for example, the main event, he would explain the importance of that match. Now, and I'm going to give you an example. What he said was, okay, but the event was called Vendetta. So it was MCW Vendetta. The way he explained it, we had seen the video promo for the main event, but he would go on and saying that, you know, this match is the meaning, the definition of Vendetta. You know, blah, blah, blah. And this is kind of things that you would say as a commentator. And by the way, he was a commentator, which was cool because they had a live commentary desk, which was awesome, which you don't see out of AWF, which, by the way, their commentary is absolutely shit in their DVDs. PWA doesn't even do commentary, which is kind of good, but it was kind of awesome to see, like, again, a WWE type event where it was, like, live commentary. Back onto the issue. And I honestly don't know if he was cutting a promo. At the end of the main event, he went on saying, and this was the most stupidest line that he had ever said in his fucking life. He went on and said that, he literally hyped this up to the point where he was yelling. And it was kind of like he was hoping to get a reaction from us going, yeah, we believe you. What he said was, so what happened was, after the main event, obviously, people left, the wrestlers left, and the referee left. He went back in the ring, and he basically said that match was MCW, that match was awesome. And he went on and saying, and I'm going to recreate this just to believe like how fucked up this was. In not the way he said it, but kind of. He went on saying that I want you to get your friends and get your family and come back and tell me that wrestling's fake. I was literally sitting next to my brother and I'm like, and by the way, there was a silence. There wasn't even a applaud from one section. It was complete silence. Like this is. I was thinking this is the most stupidest thing he said, and I don't know what to do because it is stupid. By the way, the match was great, but wasn't the fact that wrestling was fake thing. They had a dive, yes. They had a brawl. They had a barbed wire cricket bat, but they never used it. They only held it up, but nothing else. It wasn't like they actually, cut a guy open, and they, and that was it. But I wouldn't go ahead and use that line for a match like that. And, dude, keep your fucking day job. Like this again. This was something that, I honestly, it was the most stupidest thing I've ever heard from him. And if you're someone that has that same reaction now that I did a couple of seconds ago, you know how I feel. You know, this guy, I don't know him. I don't have anything personal with him. It's just the littlest of things that really can make something shit. And it's just like I said, don't go on crap about a match that we already know. Like I said, the video package, we know how personal this is. You do not need to explain it more. You know? And I mean, I'm going on and about right now, and this happened fucking 2 weeks ago. Sorry for the swearing. But this happened like 2 weeks ago, and I'm getting a bit annoyed just by thinking about it. Anyway, I'm going to move on before I start getting annoyed. Like, full on. But overall, the event was great. Will I go to an MCW event in the future? Definitely. Will I go next month or the month after? Probably not, because flights all the way there, it's kind of cheap, but nothing that I can't go every single month. I'm trying to save up. I'm trying to save up for another America trip next year. I've got tour tickets. Oh wait, no, I just bought the tour tickets. By the way, they're out, so buy them. Yeah, so like I've got many things. I might go in the future, who knows, but it's not going to be a reoccurring thing like I do with AWF or, just because it's mainly airfares and accommodation. That's the main part. Oh, and traveling. Fuck, the next thing I don't want to do is spend another $75 on a taxi. So anyway, moving on to the photos. I've met a fair few wrestlers, and I'm just going to show you guys these photos. Like I said, I know some of the wrestlers' names, but I don't know many of them. But I'm just going to show you them anyway. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the little recap and highlights video. Again, I do apologize going on a couple of minutes ago about the ring announcer and the blind girl. I just thought I'd point it out. But apart from that, I really enjoyed MCW. And I've got a whole bunch of loot from Melbourne. Not just MCW, but other wrestling related stuff that I'm going to show you guys in the future. Maybe the next day or two, who knows. But yeah, I'm just going to finish this off. And guys, click the subscribe button if you haven't done it. And yeah, hopefully guys, I'll see you later. Bye.